Hi, it's me, Michael Koppelman. Welcome to Three Things with Michael Koppelman. This is episode 1. I'm going to be brief. I just want to get into the flow here. And brevity is not my thing necessarily when it comes to talking, but here we go. I've been podcasting for a long time. Since 2005, I started podcasting. I have 80 some episodes in my podcast. Look, here's a picture of me. Probably from 2005 or even before, who knows. That's a picture of me. And my podcast is on everywhere you find podcasts, like Apple Podcasts and elsewhere. I don't have stats in my podcast. I literally have no idea how many people listen to my podcast. I have some episodes about Prince and stuff. They've probably been listened to. How many? I don't know. 1 million or 0 or 4. But anyway, I had a podcast. So I talk. I'm a talking person, you know. I like ideas. I like thinking about things, you know. So that's why I'm doing this, is because I like to think about stuff and talk about stuff. And I've been doing it for a long time, since at least 2005. So it's just a way for me to talk about 3 things and to share some music with you and other things. And yes, as someone indicated, I'm a wild gesticulator. I'm fine being a wild gesticulator. Anyway, so thing 1 today is this. 3 Things with Michael Koppelman. It's a thing. I'm starting it. How long will it last? I have no fucking idea. I know episode 2 is done. That's all I know. Let's move on to thing number 2. So thing number 2 is about climate change and sort of a simple matter of fact that you can prove to yourself very quickly that should debunk most climate deniers' arguments. I'm looking for truth here. I do not care about winning arguments. What's the truth? Just for fun, I pulled up or asked Gemini, AI, to summarize the main arguments of climate deniers. And you should be able to see it on your screen here. Natural fluctuations in temperature, unreliable science. They don't trust the climate models. They see benefits of warming, and they see, they essentially argue that short-term changes like warming does not necessarily mean that's a trend forever, that variation is part of the deal. All of these are wrong in terms of refuting global climate change, and I'm going to try to be quick here. Global climate change happens because of carbon in the atmosphere. Carbon contributes to all these global warming gases. If you don't care about human beings, then it does not matter. If you don't care about the human race, it's irrelevant. The Earth will be fine. If you care about human beings, then there's such a thing as too much carbon in the atmosphere because it warms up the atmosphere. It takes thousands, millions, maybe, at least hundreds of thousands, at least tens of thousands. It takes thousands of years to get carbon back out of the atmosphere. That's the main problem with what cause of global warming is that we're putting more carbon into the atmosphere than the atmosphere can take out. This is an irrefutable fact. It's an irrefutable fact that we're putting more carbon into the atmosphere than the Earth can take back out. This is called sequestering. The Earth sequesters carbon. I think I have a slide for this. So you can read along if you want, but help me, Jesus. Not Jesus. I mean, anyone can. Moving on. The Earth sequesters carbon in biomass, which gets compressed into like oil and coal. Oil and coal and other rocks and minerals have most of the carbon in this Earth system. Well, more percent of that has been in the atmosphere in the past, and the Earth has been very, very warm as a result, like unlivably warm. The Earth slowly takes this carbon out of the atmosphere because it's food for biomass, it's food for plants and stuff. When plants breathe CO2, they're literally taking carbon, the C and CO2, out of the atmosphere, and they're putting it into a big tree. And then that tree, that biomass lasts for a very long time And that's where the carbon stays. The Earth is good at sequestering carbon. It's slow. It takes a long time. And this is what I'm going to demonstrate very quickly, and none of this has been quick so far. It takes about, I'm in very rough numbers, a human being could burn down a tree in about a week. Let's say you live in the woods and you need fire for cooking and heat, blah, blah, blah. And you burn down one tree a week. Now, that's not crazy. One human being could do that, right? So that's 50 trees a year. Those trees took, roughly speaking, I'm estimating 50 years to grow. So you are essentially releasing carbon into the atmosphere, this one hypothetical person, at a rate 2,500 times faster than the Earth is taking it back out. This is based on these two facts. Trees last 50 years, you can burn 50 trees a year. So one person can put in, essentially 2,500 times more carbon than the Earth can take out. So multiply this by a lot of people, and you can see where the problem global climate change comes from. Almost every source of energy we have, with exception of the renewables, goes directly into the atmosphere. That carbon goes into the atmosphere. When you burn things, the things go up and they go into the atmosphere. As you go back in time, we haven't had enough industry for us to notice the Earth falling behind in sequestering this carbon. But even starting with campfires around cave people camps to the Industrial Revolution, we've been pouring carbon into the atmosphere, and the Earth just trees and stuff, biomass cannot take it out as quickly as we put it in. It's an absolute fact. Another way to prove this fact to yourself is, oil takes millions of years to form, and we've burned most of the oil in like 200 years, oil and coal. So a million is 1 times 10 to the 6th. 100 is 1 times 10 to the 2. So it's a factor of 4, or a factor of around 10,000, that we've burned the oil, 4,000 times faster than it was created, And again, this is the same order of magnitude as you cutting down the tree. It's roughly speaking 3 or 4 zeros. We're putting things into the atmosphere between 1,000 and 10,000 times faster than the Earth can get it back out. That's why there's global climate change. These are irrefutable facts. Irrefutable facts. I like to give the other side some credence. Science isn't perfect. Science is manipulated. Liberals will take an idea and use it to justify a lot of other things. The right does this also. You can't find truth in the global climate change deniers side of this equation, Can we build technology to get carbon out of the atmosphere? Maybe. To really get all of it back out, we have to undo all the energy we got from oil and coal, so it's expensive and it takes a long time. And it takes tens of thousands of years for the Earth to correct this. It would take, maybe hundreds, if not thousands of years for humans to, if we had the best technology we can imagine at the moment. It's a hard problem getting carbon out of the atmosphere, So natural cycles and all this other bullshit that people tell you it's all irrelevant. We simply put more carbon in the atmosphere than it can take out, on the order of 10,000 times. So climate change deniers, up your game. You're losing this one because you're fucking wrong, okay? Let's move on to thing number 3. Okay, thing number 3. Third thing today. 3 things. We're doing 3 things. This is the third thing. Is I'm going to play a song. When you do stuff like this, you do a podcast or you do videos, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, there's this voice in the back of your mind starts saying sort of like, why you? Who the fuck wants to hear from you? Who are you to, have a YouTube channel or whatever the fuck, I'm nobody. And I wrote a song sort of about this. It's called Nobody from Nowhere. And my third thing today is I'm going to play this song. So it's an original composition. I wrote it as part of our singer-songwriter challenge that I will talk about in other episodes. And I'll wrap this all up after this song. So check out the song. I wrote it. I'm singing it. It's called Nobody from Nowhere.
Tell a new story, gonna start today. This is the beginning, underway. A brand new chapter, a brand new look. Gonna tell a new story, start a new book. I can hear them laughing as I walk away. Nobody from nowhere with nothing to say. You're nobody from nowhere with nothing to say. My heart keeps beating, writing and reading. I don't listen to their pleading. Gonna tell a new story, gonna start today. You'll hear me laughing as I walk away. I'm nobody from nowhere, going somewhere today. I'm nobody from nowhere, going somewhere today. Gonna tell a new story, gonna start today. This is the beginning, underway. Gonna tell a new story, gonna start today. You'll hear me laughing as I walk away. I'm nobody from nowhere, going somewhere today. I'm nobody from nowhere, going somewhere today.
Nobody from nowhere, going somewhere today. Someone made a comment when I shared that song in our songwriting group that I sort of turned it from insult to superpower. This phrase, nobody from nowhere. I realized Jimmy Buffett wrote a song called Nobody from Nowhere. That's okay. Anyway, 3 things. That was 3. What was our 3 today? I'm doing this show. Climate change is real and provable to yourself, and I shared you a song. In the second episode, I take a deep dive into some songwriting stuff with the excellent songwriter Sarah Morris. I also take another intellectual topic. I talk about subtraction as a problem-solving tool and that human beings aren't good at this. And I play another song. And there's more things coming after that. So thank you for the pleasure. Thank you for the privilege of your attention. Share, like, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Thank you. Bye.